This DVD is part of a training program about creating supportive mealtimes and promoting good nutrition for children, particularly in the early childhood education and care setting. However, it is equally valuable to anyone involved in the education and care of children, including parents. We will refer to educator to include any person involved in the care of a young child, such as an early childhood educator, parent or grandparent, and so on. The habits and attitudes children develop at a young age will affect them throughout their life. Even in the earliest months, infants are beginning to develop attitudes and experiences around feeding. Many food preferences are determined in the early years, and therefore children provided with a supportive environment around food and eating are more likely to be choosing a wider variety of nutritious foods, leading to better long-term health. So how can we prepare for an engaging mealtime environment? Planning an activity prior to meals or talking to children about how far off the mealtime is can help calm children for a relaxed and pleasant mealtime. Activities can be as simple as hand washing, teaching children to wash their hands with soap, rinsing with running water and drying them with warm air or paper towels before eating, or helping with food preparation encourages good hygiene practices. Reading stories or talking about food, gardening, arts and crafts that relate to food, gentle music or singing songs about food can also help prepare children for the mealtime. Allow children to help with simple tasks such as setting the table or arranging cups. For a fun alternative, have a meal outdoors, such as a picnic, where children can help set out a picnic blanket or cushions. Children can also help with simple food preparation activities, such as washing or cutting fruit or vegetables, or putting their own toppings on crackers or bread. Involving children in cooking and food preparation helps them learn about new foods. It can also increase their interest and make them more open to trying new foods. Use it as an opportunity to talk about where food comes from, the names of different foods, and the smells and sounds of foods being prepared. Plan ahead and set up post-mealtime routines early, so you allow enough time to engage with children whilst they're eating. You can then enjoy the meal or snack with them and talk about the food being served. Encourage independence by placing food in serving dishes on the table and letting children help themselves. Children like to feel in control of their eating. They can see what foods are on offer and decide which foods and amounts suit them. Providing water in jugs so children can pour their own drink helps develop fine motor skills and promotes independence. Expect some spills as children are learning, and encourage children to help with cleaning up to teach them responsibility. Provide opportunities for children to assemble their own meal, such as wraps, soft tacos, healthy pizzas or sandwiches. Support children to learn and practice using cutlery and other social skills, and involve them in the clean-up. This may include scraping plates into compost buckets, putting away lunch boxes or washing dishes, as well as washing hands before moving on to the next activity. Children love to help, so not only will these activities provide them with skills, but also make them feel their role in the family or in their setting is valued. So, plan activities in the lead up to mealtime. Involve children in mealtime preparation, cooking and setup, and encourage independence. Carer Provides, Child Decides is an evidence-based approach to eating that supports children's healthy development. It is an easy way to remember the clear roles both the educator and child have at meal and snack times. Educators decide when and what foods will be served, and children decide which of these foods to eat and how much, allowing children to feel in control of their eating. You may be responsible for planning the menu, serving the food, or sending the packed lunchbox from home. By providing a small range of healthy foods to choose from, you can be sure children will eat healthy foods regardless of what they choose. Children also need the option to turn down foods, as children have food dislikes just like adults. There may be a number of reasons why children refuse certain foods on a given day. Some days they have big appetites and some days they don't. They may be unwell or too tired to eat. They may be teething. There may be distractions or interesting things happening. These can take their attention away from the task of eating. Children can't always tell us why they don't want a certain food. Educators need to be mindful of the possible reasons for their food refusal. Children can feel happier knowing they can choose how much they feel like eating on a given day, and it's important to allow children to make this decision based on their appetite. We need to support children in helping them listen to their own appetite. We can talk to them about how hungry they feel, or has their stomach had enough? Using these questions as a prompt can encourage children to eat to their appetite. It is useful to keep in mind that young children's appetites vary. Children generally stop eating when they have had enough, so it's important to respect their decision.
What about some more of your yummy crusket with your cheese on top? Had enough of that too.
Avoid encouraging children to clean their plate or to just have 3 more mouthfuls as an example, as this overrides their natural appetite cues. Children can relax when they know they won't be asked to eat something they don't want or to eat more of a food than they want. Reminding children when the next meal or snack is can help them decide if they should eat some more to keep them going until then. It's important to not make a fuss if a child doesn't want to eat, as this can encourage the child to refuse food to get attention. The next meal or snack is never far away. Offer a healthy alternative if the child dislikes the food being offered. Avoid using food as a bribe, for instance, using food as a reward for behaviour. This can override natural appetite cues and can send the wrong message about why we eat. Remember that offering a healthy range of foods enables children to have choices as to what they eat. So, the Carer Provides, Child Decides approach sets out clear roles for both the educator and the child around meal and snack times. Educators decide when and what foods will be served, and children decide which of these foods to eat and how much. Our own childhood experiences around food and mealtimes can play a big role in our approach and relationship to food as an adult. Everyone has different beliefs, experiences, likes and dislikes that have shaped their eating habits. Be mindful of your own attitudes to food and put these aside so you can remain neutral around food. This allows young children to explore food in their own way and develop their own habits, attitudes and preferences.
And some kiwi fruit. Get some kiwi fruit.
Avoid comments or facial expressions that may show your personal dislike of a certain food, as children are very quick to pick up on this and copy the behaviour. A relaxed mealtime environment provides more opportunities to discuss the food or for informal lessons around food.
I like cheese.
You like cheese?
Cheese and carrot together.
Cheese and carrot together. That's yummy in a sandwich, isn't it?
Limit distractions such as watching television or playing with toys, as the focus should be on food and eating. Try naming the colour, shape or texture of food, where it came from, the similarities or differences between them, or if the children have tried that food before. Examples may include, "This orange is juicy," or "What colours can you see in your bowl?" The discussion may vary depending on the age of the children. Try to ask questions that don't have a right or wrong answer. This avoids putting any pressure on children to answer correctly. Very young children can still benefit from hearing about food, such as the different colours or textures on their plate. Sitting at the table in a relaxed manner with the children means they are more likely to be relaxed themselves. It also allows you to guide behaviour and know when children have finished. Playing with food or utensils or being distracted elsewhere are signs a child may have finished. Sharing the same meal or bringing your own lunch to eat with children at mealtimes provides a great opportunity for positive role modelling. Children are more likely to eat and try new foods when they see others eating and enjoying food too. We know children sometimes need to see a new food 10 times or more before they are willing to try it. Gently encourage children to try or at least explore new foods by touching and smelling. Never force or put any pressure on them to taste foods, as this can cause negative emotions around certain foods or eating. So, supportive mealtime environments encourage educators to be neutral around food. They are relaxed. They should include discussions around food and eating, and promote positive role modelling, including sharing and eating food with children. They also support repeated exposure to new foods. Integrating food and nutrition into the daily routine can benefit children in a large number of ways.
Rub, rub, rub your hands, play my fun again.
Food and nutrition activities can help children learn what foods look and feel like, where they come from and why we need them. They can also increase children's food exposure. Research tells us that when children are exposed to a variety of new healthy foods, or when exposure of the same healthy food is repeated, they are more likely to eat those foods. Food awareness activities can help develop skills in cooking, food preparation and gardening, which in turn support healthy food choices and long-term health. There are many ways to integrate food and nutrition into the daily routine. Children love to sing food and physical activity songs or rhymes, or share stories about food. Ensuring there are always books around will support children's interest in reading. Food books, songs and rhymes serve as great transition activities between playtime and mealtime by helping children focus on the upcoming task.
Out of the egg came a tiny and very hungry caterpillar and one slice of watermelon. Gonna eat the leaf. Munch, munch, munch.
These activities can also help improve children's literacy, numeracy and food knowledge.
What colour are they? Green. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11. Can we try and put them in our mouth? You want to eat yours, Emily? You want to try one? Oh, it tastes just like peas, don't they? What does it taste like? It tastes sweet, does it? Oh, you like them?
Songs can also be used to help children understand the importance of food safety, such as singing a hand-washing song before a meal or snack. Children enjoy being involved in planting, nurturing and picking fresh produce. Gardening helps children learn about different foods and how they grow, helps improve fine motor skills and also encourages children to be active. Children can plant fruits, vegetables and herbs in pots or in the garden. When you pick produce from the garden, use this as an opportunity to talk about what you have grown and share the food as part of a meal or as a snack. Having a compost bin or worm farm can teach children about the environment. This also encourages children to empty food scraps into the compost after a meal. Children love being involved in cooking and food preparation. As with mealtimes, use cooking as an opportunity to talk about food, such as the ingredients, food safety, kitchen appliances, utensils or favourite recipes.
We all have a tip. Scoop it in. 1. Yogurt. What else do we put in there?
Bananas.
Bananas.
Milk. Milk.
He wants to try it.
Children can learn a lot about food through play. They really enjoy role-playing, including imaginary cooking, serving food to other children, selling or buying fruit and vegetables at a shop, or sitting down together to eat pretend food. Play kitchens, shop fronts or market stalls, cutlery and food models can help inspire children's imaginations. You can also use educational games, such as food puzzles or matching games, or you could even try making your own games, such as What's in the Box or Food Bingo. Games that involve physical activity are great for children's health too. Food, art and craft activities can teach children about food, help to stimulate discussion and can link in with other activities around food. Activities could include drawing or painting foods, or cutting and pasting pictures of food, to name just a few. If you're in an early childhood education and care setting, documenting food and nutrition activities is a great way for families to see what their children have done that day. Some families might be inspired by these activities and want to repeat them at home. Children also love to show parents their work or look back on what they have achieved. A great idea would be to include a picture of children participating in the activity, a description of the food activity, or quotes of what children said at the time. You can link food and nutrition to both your curriculum and any events or themes at your centre at that time. For example, some centres choose to celebrate cultural days by inviting families to cook a traditional dish. Children enjoy sharing these experiences with their loved ones. You might also like to invite families along to help out with reading or gardening. So, food awareness activities help children learn what foods look and feel like, where they come from, and why we need food. They increase children's exposure to a variety of healthy foods. They promote cooking, food preparation and gardening. And they support healthy food choices. Also, encourage families to be involved. Early childhood settings have a unique opportunity to encourage healthy eating messages at home, which also reinforces the healthy practices within the centre. For example, share your mealtime practices with the help of stories and photos. Send home nutrition and physical activity resources in pigeonholes or via email. Display the weekly menu or lunchbox ideas. Include recipes and information snippets in newsletters. Loan copies of the Start Kids Eating Right cookbook, and promote healthy fundraising within your centre. In summary, the habits and attitudes children develop at a young age will affect them throughout their life. Prepare for an engaging mealtime environment by planning activities and encouraging independence. Use the carer provides, child decides approach to set out clear roles for both the educator and the child around meal and snack times. Aim for meal times to be relaxed and encourage discussion. Remain neutral around food and provide positive role modelling. Plan food awareness activities and promote good nutrition at home to support healthy eating choices. Aim to slowly introduce these principles and practical tips into your setting or home over time. They will soon become routine and lead to a positive and supportive mealtime environment and the formation of healthy eating practices and attitudes. There are many factors influencing the formation of food habits. As many children spend a significant amount of time in early childhood education and care settings, the environment and experiences in these settings play a vital role in the development of lifelong eating habits.